Hi buddy, how you doing? Welcome to Mairsy TV, and today we've got Andy Bell from Bell's Boxing Academy.
Pleasure as always.
I've been trying to get Andy to do this for a wee while now, but Andy being busy, the gym being busy as well, so these things all take time, as everybody knows for there. But we've got him pinned on the day, and we're going to get a wee chat. Really, who is Andy Bell? Who is Bell's Boxing Academy? What is Lesmahagow? Who's in Lesmahagow? And what does Bell's Boxing Academy offer for there? We might go deeper into who is Andy Bell as well. So Andy, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, Mairsy, pal, and I appreciate it. Thanks for having us, pal.
So Andy, number one, what got you into boxing?
I suppose I was maybe about 7, 8 year old, and I'd been bullied, Mairsy. I'd experienced a bit of bullying, you know, so Mum and Dad had put me into the local boxing club, and there I was met with Davy Frame, local boxing coach, and Toby Dixon, you know. Davy being the main coach, helped me along, you know, and that's where I really first took up boxing, you know.
Good. That's a timer, everybody, by the way. Every boxing gym needs a timer. So, how did you feel walking through the doors for the first time? Because see, you know, when I first started, I always remember walking down this big hallway, and you know what got me for day one was hearing the see that wee ball, and that got me right into it. How did you feel just walking through the doors?
It's a nerve-wracking place, like any gym, you know. I can always remember my first day back in the boxing gym, and it was just a wee shed we trained up in the back of Colburn, and you know, I could just mind my first day is nerve-wracking. You know, it's just meeting new people. It's going into a strange place. It's always nerve-wracking, pal. So, and I'm sure many people find that going into
definitely.
The gyms.
But did you think in your first day walking through the gym it was going to be a part of your life?
To be honest, I entered the gym on the thought that it maybe stop the bullying, maybe help me a bit, you know, and that's what I was looking for for the boxing, you know, was self-defence and, you know, to take me for the position I was in, Mairsy.
Yep. See, before we go any further with the boxing side yet, and it is a big deal, by the way, mate, is bullying. Bullying's rife, and these days it's cyberbullying and stuff like that for there, but I think going back when we were younger, you know, it's more physical and stuff like that for there. But when you say about getting bullied, can you explain that a wee bit? Because it's something that crops up an awful lot with me when people talk to me about is bullying. Like an example of bullying, like a small example of myself was just getting a punch out the blue, but didn't want to do anything about it and stuff like that, you know?
With any bully, mate, they always like to feel stronger, you know? They like to look the biggest guy, whatever, you know. And as I went through school, no names mentioned, you know, but there was a few lads that, you know, targeted me most of the days because I didn't retaliate, you know. And obviously, once you're in that position, you become scared or whatever, you know. So I became a target in the primary school for bullying, you know. And you know, my mum and dad were always there and they helped us through it, you know, but that was the next step, was putting us into the local boxing gym, you know, and Davy Frame being local boxing coach, you know, had a great experience through training some great lads, and my mum and dad knew him, so that was the best choice, was to put me into that club.
How did you feel when you get your first spar?
My first spar was a bit daunting, you know, burst nose, lit up like a Christmas tree, to be honest, mate. Bit daunting, you know, but I'd experienced being hit before, so, you know, I knew to be a boxer, you had to take this kind of punishment, you know, and I knew that it would help me in the longer run, Mairsy.
See, it's true what you're saying there, because when you're being bullied, and I get bullied when I was younger as well, and I hear it from a lot of people, but no for a lot of boxers as such, and having chats with them, but you become desensitised. So getting hurt was really nothing to you. You're obviously pissed off with getting hurt, but you obviously know, oh, I don't want hit or curling away and this and that. You've been hurt.
Yeah.
You've had a straight right with somebody or this or that, blah, blah, blah. So half the battle it's a bit weird, right? 'Cause I want to tell you one wee story, by the way. We know the podcast is about Andy, by the way, but it's one wee story. And I remember years and years and years ago, a guy came into my gym and he used to bully me at school, right? And he was on the punch bag. And I remember, for a distance, looking at it and I'm saying to myself, what was I scared of?
Aye.
Right?
Aye.
But see, at the end of it, do you know what he says to me? Stephen, he said, probably, if it wasn't for me, you might not have been doing this. There's an element of truth there.
Aye. Change your mindset,
Did
man.
you ever bump into anybody that bullied you?
No, because a few of the guys aren't here anymore, you know, and they've obviously took different roads in life, and you know, so I've seen them years later, you know, and I spoke to the lads and that, you know, and you know, we sorted it out. I wasn't always bullied, Mairsy, you know. Years later, the boxing helped me, you know, and it made me stand on my 2 feet to the point I confronted these bullies, you know, and to the point they never come back near us, you know, and that's the way I've always been now, mate.
They'll jump onto somebody else, innit?
Well, yeah, mate, as I say, yeah, they were known for it, mate, you know.
So you started your journey in boxing. What age were you when you started your journey?
I was roughly 7, just turning 8-year-old. I went into Lesmahagow, ABC, and that was coached by Davy Frame. Great coach, great memories. A coach, been trained with Davy, you know, and you know, great, some great memories for the days in that gym.
So your journey with boxing, saying 7 or 8 years of age, has that been your journey right through, or has there ever been a time where your journey's been sidetracked?
I started boxing, Mairsy, when I was 8, and I think my first amateur fight might have been when I was about 10-year-old, I think, you know, and it was with a local champion, and I went in and I stopped him the first round, first round, you know, and obviously I'd been boxing and training for a while, so out in the amateurs stopped the national champion, you know, first round, and you know, it was an exhibition, so there was no decider on that, you know. But it showed me that I had what it took, you know.
Definitely.
And I continued with the amateur career, you know. And maybe 13, 14-year-old, mate, I fell away for it, you know. Girls, whatever,
I was
mate.
going to say that. Can we jump on that, because I'm hearing that quite a lot with people that I talk to, and they get so far in a sport for when they're young, and the age of 14, 15, 16, they seem to fall away from that. What, if you want to discuss that, what do you think sort of took you away?
I don't know, you know, obviously in boxing, mate, discipline is a big thing, mate, you know, and needing to go and put that hard work in every night, you know, and I suppose maybe with younger people leaving sports after attending them for a while is maybe due to the unknown that's out there, you know, girls, drink, drugs, whatever it be, Mairsy, you know, people get sidetracked, you know.
But what made you go down that road? What made you become so disciplined to which is the right words, is non-disciplined? What made you go from one to another?
You know, I really don't know how to answer that, Mairsy, mate. I suppose it was just experiencing new things, you know.
Just getting older.
Yeah, getting older, maturing, you know, meeting girls, you know, and, you know, getting out and just being a youth, mate, you know, and get sidetracked for the boxing, you know, and look.
So one of your clients comes in, one of your boxers comes in, and they're 13, 14 years of age, and they're putting everything together and they're looking great. What would you tell them now?
None of it's worth it. None of it's worth it, you know. Stick to the dream, stick to the goal that you've got. It's got to take you much further than a lot of the stuff that you've got out there for you at this minute, you know. As I say, I wasted a lot of time on the wrong things, Mairsy, you know. And if I had put, you know, if I went all the way and hadn't stopped, then God knows where I would be today, mate, you know. So, yeah, mate, I wish I had stuck at it.
But do you think about that? do you look back the past on that and think to yourself, I should have? Do you think that? Or do you look where you are just now?
To be honest, for years I did. For years it beat me up, you know, because I knew the discipline and I knew how good I was at boxing, and I gave it all up for worthless things, you know, and that was something that played in my mind. So, yeah, I always wanted to get back to boxing through leaving it, you know, because I knew I'd basically messed up a good chance there, you know.
See, when you're talking about messed up, you know, we've had a wee chat before the filming of this today, and we'll mention this, we'll mention that, and I'm listening to you talking just now. And is there anything more that you want to get into more detail about, or do you prefer to just keep that on a level?
What do you mean, Mairsy? Sorry.
About when you come off track, you know, you're talking about going out here, doing this and doing that. Is there anything else you want to jump in?
Yeah, mate, just going out fighting, street fighting, you know, getting into fights that really didn't mean anything, you know, following the crowd, you know, just, I suppose, try to be cool, you know, try to be the cool guy, and it gets you absolutely nowhere in life, you know.
Yep.
A bad reputation, or you know, jail or whatever, you know. Yep.
So when did so you lost the discipline? In fact, I'm going to say you lost the discipline. Do you ever lose the discipline, really? But you lost the track. Let's
lost the motivation, mate.
You lost the motivation, right? You lost the motivation for there. Then you went through and done all these wee things for there. So what brought you? When did you decide? I went back into this. When did that happen?
I was actually dying, Mairsy. That's what happened, mate. I developed, for the age of 16, I developed severe depression. I'd been through like a bereavement. I lost my cousin, my best friend, you know, that hit us hard for the age of 16. So for then I hot depression, you know, and that kind of stayed with me. Went through a period of drinking, partying, you know, doing stuff, getting involved in stuff that I shouldn't have been getting involved in, you know. And I developed a eating disorder, Mairsy, where I was being sick over 40 times per day. It was killing me, bulimia and anorexia, you know. As a 11.5 stone guy, I dropped down to like 6 stone in weight. I'd been put into like, I'd been sectioned, mate. I'd been sectioned, and I was never out of the emergency care unit, mate. And that was, my kidneys were only functioning at 13%, you know. So I was in a bit of a bad place, mate. The nurse came in and she says, look, your kidneys are only working at 13%. Your heart's got to stop. Basically, we give you a year to live.
Right.
Some of the doctors had gave me 6 months, you know, and I sat on the edge of that bed, just crying, mate. You know, I was 28-year-old, 2 boys and a girl, 3 kids, full family, you know, and thinking this is it, you know. I've killed myself. I've destroyed my body through mental health, mate, you know, and bulimia. So for that day, I suppose, like, I was sitting, and the video that came up was Tyson Fury, you know, and I started watching some of these videos, and, you know, I thought, where that guy's been for, you know, maybe I can find something in here, you know. And for that day, I'd suggested to the dietitians, the doctors, you know, maybe I can get back to boxing. You know, boxing helped me once, maybe it can help me again, you know. So the dietitians, psychiatrists, they all said, look, Andy, it's by that stage. You're never got to be able to train. You're lucky you'll run a mile and your heart will stop, you know. And I couldn't accept that, Mairsy. I couldn't take that in, mate, you know. So if I go to hospital, it was a constant cycle again, been sick, you know, and try to get myself stronger. So started with a mile, done a mile, fucked, absolutely terrible, mate. Got down the road, it's fucked, mate, blown out my arse and everything, mate. Couldn't breathe. Next day I done it. Felt my body going down. Continued, you know, up to 2 mile, 3 mile, was taking its toll. To the point I arranged an ultra-light collar fight just to see where I was at in fitness and in my head, you know. So booked a fight, you know, I went out and, you know, I was, sorry, I was training with Scott Harrison and Peter Harrison. They two guys opened their doors and I ended up being personal trained with Scott. And Peter opened his doors and thanks very much, Peter Harrison. The guy gave me that opportunity when many other gyms with me, you know. I'd been in touch with many gyms and ignored or basically passed off, you know. And Peter gave me that chance. And as big a guy as he was and a legend of Scotland, you know, he said, "There a bag, go on there," you know. And Scott helped me train. I progressed towards my first fight, you know, and I went out and I fought a well-known lad for a well-known gym in Scotland, and you know, I tore him up, absolutely tore him up. So that pushed me even further. I'm out doing 5 mile, I'm running 6 mile, you know, I'm up in the miles, I'm up in the training, you know. Got to the gym 6 days a week, got to this gym in Glasgow and attending Peter's. So I started going round the promoters, just getting my fights, you know, travelling about. And I get in touch with a few promoters and I said, "Look, I'm here, I want to win some titles, you know, doesn't matter who I fight, bring your best lads out, I'm willing to fight them, win, lose or draw." And that's where we went, Mairsy, you know. I had fights put towards me and I never turned them down. We didn't win them all. We lost some, you know, but we're here today, mate, you know.
That was your turning point?
That was my turning point, mate. It was coming back through the gym with Peter and Scott Harrison, mate, you know, and they helped me back for a right dark place, and I was mentally ill, mate, you know. So big thanks to Scott and Peter for that, mate, definitely. You know.
So what about your first title? Tell us about your first title.
My first title was for the British title. Sorry, it wasn't. It was for the Celtic title, Mairsy. I fought down in South Wales, and I fought there 5 rounds. I'd fought a lad called Curtis Lambert. Lad was multiple amateur champion, and he'd progressed up to semi-professional. He'd won British, Welsh titles, European titles. Great prospect, great lad, you know. And he beat me 3 rounds to 2, you know. But as I say, I tore him up that fight. I felt I done enough, you know, but this is boxing, mate. You know, I just went on, came back home, trained, you know, and I was put forward for the British title, and the lad pulled out, you know, so it got rescheduled, pulled out again, and then I was rematched with a cage fighter, boxer, jiu-jitsu, MMA guys. William the Buzzsaw Taylor, you know, and I take my hat off to that guy. What a wee warrior he was, you know, and you know, I won the British title that night. So yeah, mate, that was a huge milestone for me, mate, in proving that, you know, I definitely had the potential.
How did it feel putting the belt around your waist?
Oh, it was just amazing, mate. You know, through lying in the hospital bed, dying, being told that, you know, I'd never run a mile. To holding that belt there, mate. This one, you know, that was the first ever belt I won, the British title, mate, and one of my most treasured belts, you know.
Definitely. So what happened after that? What was the progression after that then? After
that fight, pal, I won the British. I had the Commonwealth put towards us, and I went out and I lost the Commonwealth. It was a week after my grandfather had passed away, and I was at a point, you know, I was like, got to cancel, but in my head, mate, I would never put out a fight. I know the trouble it brings for promoters, and you know, I didn't want to be classed as a shite bag or that, mate. So travelled to Wales again, and I lost that fight, Mairsy. I lost that Commonwealth title, you know, which was heartbreaking, mate. But my head and my heart wasn't in it, you know. I just lost one of my best pals in life, mate. So.
Definitely.
You know, I just wanted to be with my family, if I was honest, mate, you know, so, and for there, I just progressed, mate. I went out and I wanted to fight every day, to the point with a unification fight, and it was with a guy from Nepal, Akash Dange, great amateur boxer, you know, and a couple of organisations had sanctioned a few belts for it. and the Nepalese team had travelled over to Scotland, and the guy, honestly, one of the hardest hitters I've ever felt in life, you know. Came out first round. I felt I was lucky to get through the first round, if I'm honest, Mairsy. You know, he caught me with some shot, you know, and I was seeing stars, mate. I'm in here and, you know, I'm trying not to show him that he really got me buzzed. I was moving about here buzzed, you know, and back out of the corner, second round in that, and I said, I need to go for it, you know. He's really hurt me here, and if he keeps this pace up, you know, I don't know if I'm going to get through, but Wallace Frame, you know, used to train with his dad. It's his father that trained me, Davy Frame. So Wallace is now my assistant coach. Great guy, 5-time Scottish champion in that, knowledge, you know, out of this world. He's like that, look, calm down, get back to your boxing, think of what we've done in training, you know. So that's what I did, come back out, get back to my boxing, mate, you know, and I hurt him. Halfway through the second round, I noticed I'd hurt him with some body shots and a head shot. So I just upped the pace. I thought, I'm going for it here, you know. And I come in here, right here it was on this spot, you know, caught him maybe 3-4 body shots and a few head shots, and he went down, and that was it, knocked out, you know. So I won the belts, and I became unified, a British Commonwealth, undisputed, and unified 3-time world champion, Mairsy, mate.
Brilliant, isn't it?
You know,
it's an achievement.
An achievement for me, mate. All I set out for was a British or a Scottish title, mate. Scottish title, that was, you know, that's what I believed I was good enough to get. You know, I didn't believe British titles, Commonwealths, world titles. They were in another field to me, Mairsy. You know, it was just a Scottish title. That's what I would had my eye on, you know. So
why the set up Bell's Boxing Academy in Lesmahagow?
To be honest, Mairsy, I was putting out some money a week, travelling to Glasgow and going here and there, you know, and I thought, what if I could make my own gym? What if I could create a place where, you know, I could go myself and train anytime I wanted, but it's not costing me every time, you know. And I was obsessed with training, you know. So I thought, having my own place, creating a space where lads and lasses for the local community can come in, you know, get great advice myself or Wallace, have a platform where they can further their career, you know, whether it be unlicensed, whether it be amateur, semi-professional, whatever, you know. We've got many promoters out there that would help them, you know. So yeah, mate, as I say, I opened the gym to help people in the local community, and further with their mental health, you know. As I say, this gym offers a lot for people.
When I started to see you on Facebook, that's how I got to know you and stuff like that a wee bit there, and watching your videos and stuff. And I know you can't see it in the camera, but it's some size of gym. It's massive, by the way.
It is,
it's a big gym.
It is, and I'd like to say a thanks to Lunar Gymnastic. You know, they helped us. They gave us this hall just over 3 years ago, and what a place it is, you know. We continue to grow year by year, and if it wasn't for they guys, we wouldn't be here, you know. Great facility, man, so thanks.
Do you get good support for the local people in Lesmahagow?
Straight up, mate, not really, you know. We're a self-funded club, and I'm no one for asking for help, Mairsy, you know what I mean? Being a local community, we deal with kids with learning difficulties, ranging a variety, you know. I could go on all day, bullied, you know, foster kids a lot, and we do make a difference. We make a difference in the children's lives, you know, and funding would help us massively to see that we could do right by these kids even more, you know. But sadly, we're forgot, you know. It feels like we're forgotten about, you know, and overlooked in some areas, you know.
How would more funding help you? How would that?
It would help us get a minibus, you know, get a minibus and be able to travel about, doing wee challenges with the academy, you know, getting the kids for the local community and the boxing gym out for days out, you know, doing activities, Mairsy. Extra funding would also help with extra equipment, you know, tracksuits and whatever to take the stable out, mate, you know. So it would just help the general boxing club on, mate, you know.
Aye, definitely. But as I say, everybody, it's a big gym up here, you know, you need to come and see it, or any fighter or whatever, any independent fighters, well, you need to come up and see it. I've always said that, it's a massive gym.
Welcome
It's a brilliant
anybody.
gym. Aye, I know that. It's a massive gym. But sponsorship-wise, would you welcome sponsorship in the gym?
I would love sponsorship, Mairsy. Sponsorship would also help us. As I say, we're just signed with the Amateur Boxing Alliance, the London Boxing Alliance, and Boxing Alliance Scotland, and the WBC Amateurs, you know. Right. So any promotion, you know, it's this is a place for it. You know, got to be. Our stable's got to be competing in front of thousands and thousands of people yearly, you know. So
you'll work with, well, I'm saying that, I know some folk do and some folk don't. So will you work with sort of anybody, or is there certain organisations that you don't or you can't work with them?
You know,
there's politics everywhere.
It's politics, yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, as I say, we're an amateur and a professional affiliated club now, you know. So yeah, sponsors. Anybody is welcome to come on board as a sponsor. You know, if they tick the boxes and you know they're getting what they need with it. With it, you know, it's like I'm willing to work with anybody that's willing to support the academy.
Definitely. Mate. So what else do you do? I think you're on other classes in here.
We do a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and that's for 4 years plus. And they're mixed classes, so guys and girls come in. On the Thursday we do a ladies boxing burn class, and that's gone great. That's starting to build great. Good. On the Sunday we do a Helping Hands mental health group, and that's been newly established, but that's been put in place for the local community. Anybody experiencing problems, anxiety, depression, addiction, whatever it is, come along, you know, get a coffee, bit of cake, sit. We've got experienced people on board, you know, whether they're qualified people or whether it's people that's qualified in the circumstances that the person's going through, you know. It's like we've got people here, whether it's advice, whether you need to talk or an ear or whatever, you know, and everything's 100% confidential. So
where do you see Bell's Boxing Academy in the next 3 to 5 years?
You know, I'm still fighting myself. Just turned professional, Mairsy, so I plan to do a bit of fighting for the next five years myself. But also in that time, you know, we've got obviously the stable here, and you know, my goal now is to get every single amateur as good as I can and get them out there onto some of the biggest stages about, mate, you know, and show what we can do, pal. That's where I plan to go with it.
So is there anything else you want to say to the camera before we close up there?
No, I'd just like to say thanks very much, Mairsy, you know, and anybody that's looking to get into boxing, self-defence, whatever it may be, you know, where you're suffering mental health, you know, my messenger's always open, you know, my doors are always open to anybody. You know, obviously we do charge a fee, you know, money isn't everything. I enjoy helping people. And
pays the bills.
That's it, pays the bills, Mairsy. Pays the bills for us, mate. As I say, you know, I'm willing to come and go with people. Money's not everything, and if I can help anybody anywhere, I'll always do my best, you know, and that's it, Mairsy, pal.
At the start, he said he was nervous for doing it, and he's sitting with all these belts here.
I'll be honest, anxiety is another part of my mental health, mate. As you've probably noticed, man, anxiety. That sort of destroys me, mate. You know,
you've given us a good chat today. You've given us a good insight into the day, what's what. And I want to do more, obviously. I want to do many more. And it's great doing this today. We've done a couple of wee films up here, but this is the one I wanted today. I wanted to just get me and you and see what was what, you know, and about Bell's Boxing Academy, Andy Bell and stuff like that for there. And that's what I thoroughly enjoy about it, mate, because it's real people.
Yeah, mate.
And the thing is, and everybody that really knows me, nothing's staged. We don't sit down for 5 and 6 hours and have a big script about what we're going to say. We just say it. Because you were mentioning the other on there about Tommy Hands, big Tommy Hands. Tommy Hands just said it as it was. And that podcast went through the roof. and he just said it as it was, and nothing was scripted, you know, and it's the exact same as the day. And I want everybody to know that with Andy. We had a wee talk 2 minutes before the camera. He's like, I'm on nervous.
Aye.
But at the end of the day, you done well. You've given us a good chat. And Mairsy TV, we definitely want to, down the line, we want to be following, you know, where Bell's Boxing Academy is going to be going and stuff like that for there. I think maybe a really good one is down the line as well, even following some boys to a show. You know, I think that would be a good one.
That'd be magic, mate, and you're
See,
always welcome.
We could just film that. Them all going to the show. And you know what's funny about it is, watch them all sitting there getting their horns all taped up. Because I remember being there and you're like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Aye.
And you're at the other end of it now. So that would be a good wee one.
Mairsy, you're welcome along. Any wee day, mate, you're
Yep.
welcome on board
Yep.
every wee day,
Yep.
pal. You know, it'll be a
Brilliant.
pleasure, mate. And it's always an honour to have you in the academy,
Oh, listen,
mate.
absolutely brilliant. But listen, I just want to say to everybody out there that I know, and it'd be great if Bell's Boxing Academy or Andy Bell, he's on my Facebook, but the link will be below anyway. Sponsorship would really help this team out a lot, you know, whether it be that or that, you know. And remember, everybody, these things are tax deductible. Tax deductible. So anything to help all the young ones out. This guy, by the way, and we've had chats in private, we're not going to talk about that,
Right.
but he's put so much effort into this, and we're not trying to sell anything today, we're just telling a story today, you know.
Sick, Mairsy,
And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'd like anybody who would like to get on board with Bell's Boxing Academy or Andy regarding funding, or somebody that could, you know, say, look, I know who'll do this and do that for you, who could push. Because sometimes you get to a stage where we know about funding and then we don't know any more, and there's people out there that know a bit more. So we're looking for people, or Andy's looking for people that could push him that bit forward. Please believe me, I've been up here a few times. I've saw the young man's training. Absolutely brilliant, very respectful, nothing that goes with it. And but we wish Bell's Boxing Academy all the best in the future and absolutely everything today.
Thank you very much,
Andy
Mairsy.
Bell. All right,
Thank you
Andy,
very much,
cheers,
pal.
mate.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Mairsy, mate. Thank you.